fried chicken in, you get the fried chicken out, you get the fried chicken in, and you shake it all about. The fried chicken song is something make me want to eat. I'm like freestyle rapping. I was just making that up.
Is that what you were doing, freestyle rapping?
Should we put that in the show?
Yes.
Welcome to the Fried Chicken podcast. This epic disaster. I don't know. I just had a burger. I don't know why I was thinking about fried chicken.
I don't know either.
You put the fried chicken in, you pulled it. Man, I miss fried chicken.
You can't have fried chicken.
I know. I'd like to have some fried chicken. My only chance of getting fried chicken, and I'm glad they did this. So on the corner of my street, there was a KFC, and they had buffet, which I didn't get to have KFC when buffet started. I became a vegetarian before that. Man, I would have eaten a lot of chicken.
You would have eaten a lot of buffet.
I would have had that chicken. So, but every time I come home, it tempts me. It's like, just get a bone. Just get one wing, one breast. Yeah. Have some breasts. Tempted by the breast, tempted by the leg, tempted by the chicken booty. No chicken booty.
Chicken booty. No, that's gross.
Although I do think that they should offer chicken booty. But anyway, but they closed it down.
Yeah.
They closed the KFC down.
So
they
you don't
painted
have to
over
smell
it. I don't have to see it. I don't have to smell it. But I still, I'm tempted by it all the time. You know what else I'm tempted by?
What?
Beer. Brewski.
Beer.
Live beer review, which we're going to do right now. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this epic disaster. We just kind of
walked into this one.
Weird show.
It's a very strange show.
But if you're new to the show, hi. Fried chicken in. If you're new to the show, this is the kind of crap you're going to hear every
all
time.
The time.
Make a decision now whether you want to stick with us.
We'll give you a second.
Don't leave us halfway.
Nope.
I mean, right now,
Make
decide
your decision.
if you're going to stay, if you're going to go. Will you stay or will you go?
Now.
If you do stay, you get to hear a wonderful beer review, live beer review, which you do every episode, every show that we've done, we do a live beer review. And so what we do is we open a beer we've never had, we drink it. During the podcast, you'll hear us drinking it, you'll hear us sipping it, and then at the end of the show, we'll tell you what we think of it, and then maybe you want to go get yourself some. What are we drinking today?
Today, we are drinking Pluff Mud.
Pluff Mud.
Porter, and it's
you
by...
You put the Pluff Mud in, you put the Pluff Mud out.
You know, so for those of you that don't know, those of yous, what am I from
New York,
New Jersey now? Yeah.
All you
all
out there.
All yous who don't know what Pluff Mud is, I'll tell you.
It's muddy.
It is actually Pluff Mud. They tell you on the can what it is. Pluff Mud is a mixture of dirt and water indigenous to the marshes of the South Carolina Lowcountry with a distinct odor that's endearing to locals but off-putting to tourists and redcoats.
There's a newt in my beer.
Anyways, this is their second flagship beer. Again, this is from Holy City Brewing. And they say it's an effort to bring the American porter style to the Charleston market proper, while also making a beer that stays appealing as the mercury rises.
You can't see through this beer. It is completely opaque. I'm trying to...
And
at the bottom I can see a little bit. But
there's
it is...
sediment in there, too.
It is thick. It's just like mud.
It is brewed and canned at Holy City Brewing, North Charleston, South Carolina. This has 5.5% alcohol by volume.
And a lot of mud. All right. I noticed it doesn't have a large head. There doesn't seem to be a lot of fizzies in it.
Nope.
It's not
a porter, though.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to drink it.
Drink it.
I'm going to try it out.
At your own risk, taste it.
Ooh.
So what we're going to do is we're going to drink this through the podcast, and we'll let you know at the end of the podcast what we each think of it. We're not like professionals or anything, but we think we are. And we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I'm feeling good about it.
Are you?
See what you think.
Okay. Oh, it's interesting.
It is. I'm a little PO'd. I'm a little pissed off. I shouldn't do a show when I'm pissed off, should I?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a little pissed off.
What are you pissed off about, Rick?
It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. I've heard that.
I've been pissed on before. Have you been pissed on
before?
Oh,
God. You know, I could have made a choice not to say that. You could have just said, this is a humor thing. I'm not going to reveal things about myself that I'll be sorry about years from now. But you didn't choose to do that.
No, I did not.
I have been, not on purpose. I like to tease my wife every once in a while and make her think that I'm into something that I'm really not into. So I'm like always like suggesting to her that she pees on me, that we get into like golden shower stuff.
Okay.
I
Water sports.
Yeah,
also
I
known
think
as.
it's funny to see a reaction because she laughs and then she starts. There's a point where she's like, "Is he serious? Does he really want me to do
Does
this?"
he want me to pee on him?
So I do that frequently. I start like really pushing her. I was like, "Do you want to do this kind of thing?" Just to see what happens. It's kind of fun.
You're mean.
I know.
Oh my God.
I won't tell you
what
some
if
other
she came
stuff.
up and was like, "Yes,
I know that's
I've
the
always
risk.
wanted to do that. I'm so glad you brought it up."
I know that's the risk you take, but
Yeah.
and then or if she's just like, "Yeah, I used to date a guy that did that to me all the time."
All the
It's like,
time.
no, I don't want to
I
know
don't-
that.
No,
Quit.
Stop it.
Some people do like it, which there's nothing wrong with it if you like it. Well, I don't understand, and we're gonna get really bad right off
Let's do it.
at the beginning.
All right.
I didn't plan on that, but so I know there and I hear stories. I don't know anybody personally, at least not
That you know of.
people who like to eat sexually, who get gratification eating poopage. Those people are out there.
That's disgusting.
It's totally disgusting.
That's not healthy.
No, but I always feel like there's a problem with that. If that's a part of your marriage, you can never complain that dinner is bad. You can't. You've set the bar way low. You can't complain if you go to a restaurant. You can't complain about anything ever that you eat.
I mean,
The people just like,
I didn't know you were going to go
you
that far.
eat poop.
Yeah. Come on.
And if they're like, honey, this dinner tastes like poop. She's like, really? Thank you.
You must like it.
Yeah, thank you.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I just feel like that there's nothing you can complain about at that point.
I thought, okay, I'll be honest, when you said that this show was going to get low right away, I
low.
thought you were talking about just people that like to get pooped on.
That's part of it, but I mean that goes. I'm talking about to the extreme, but still, even with that, anything you can't complain about.
Nothing.
You can't complain about anything
No.
at all, because if you're just like, this movie sucks, and you're like, well, you eat shit, so
Yeah.
what do you know? All right, let's do a little would you rather.
Just so you know, I forgot the cards again.
Again?
Yeah, because I'm an idiot.
Dang it.
I didn't even think about it this time.
Well, we do have.
But we have our other would you rather cards.
I like dropping the stones, though.
I know.
We
will.
do have a little box that we can access. All right, so if you don't bring them next time, we'll do it. So let's do the would you rather. I don't think the would you rather can go as low as we already did. You all right over there?
Yeah, I just had to sneeze.
Usually the would you rather is more disgusting than us, but
Maybe not
this week.
today. Maybe not today.
No, not at
So how many
all.
questions are on your card?
You got 3. What do you want? What number do you like?
I'll take the middle one.
Middle one?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have the power to switch your emotions on and off, what you don't, or be able to fully comprehend written material just by sniffing the words?
Wait a second. Those two things have nothing to do with each other.
You'd get kicked out of a lot of libraries. Be like, she's
I
over
love
there
the smell of
sniffing
books.
the books.
I
know.
love the smell of books.
Can you imagine walking in, some dudes over there just like speed sniffing of the words, and it's like, they're like, sir, could you leave? He's like, not now. This is the good part.
This is the good part. This smells really good.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather.
If you're a cop and you're just like, ma'am, I'm going to have to see your driver's license, and she hands it to him, and he starts sniffing it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it probably happens.
Probably. Okay, so now I don't remember what it was.
Do you
Power
want-
to switch your emotions on and off, or be able to fully comprehend written material just by sniffing the words. So fully comprehend it.
Yeah. Just like reading, but with your nose.
Well, I mean, I read shit I don't fully comprehend.
Yeah.
So I could learn a lot that way.
Yeah.
If I could fully comprehend it.
That just sounds like fun.
It does. I'm going to go with that. I want to sniff words. I want to sniff books.
Yeah.
Like if I ever wanted to go back to college, though, I'd be in class, like just sniffing away.
I know. That would be so weird. It was like, oh, man, I've got this great book you need to sniff.
But yeah, I and honestly, I wouldn't want the ability to shut my emotions off completely. I've been on medication that made me feel like I had before,
Right.
and that's no fun. It's just not fun.
So sniff the words.
I'm going to sniff the words.
Sniff the words.
Okay, so for you, let me put my glasses on.
Do,
I can see what I'm reading.
I'm going with number 3, the last one, the final group of questions on your card there.
I am really curious to know what you're going to pick here.
Okay.
Would you rather live in the Star Wars universe or Shakespeare's England?
Impulsively, I was just going to say Shakespeare's England, and then I realized
They didn't have plumbing.
they didn't have plumbing. They didn't take showers.
They didn't take showers.
Diseases ran rampant.
Yeah.
People didn't brush their teeth.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day.
They always romanticize that time
Oh, I
period,
know.
but it couldn't have been. No.
like see somebody, you're like, oh, they're hot, and then you take off their clothes and like, woo, let's put the clothes back on and go.
Yeah.
But I bet back then it didn't bother them quite as much.
Well,
they're used to the smell. I
mean,
guess.
you see things where people like are walking around holding an orange to their nose,
Right.
like that was a thing people had to do because they couldn't handle the stench. Like
Right.
people that were higher, and had access to showers and
Right.
things like that. They couldn't handle the stench of being down amongst the people.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that I would find it very romantic, to be honest.
On the other hand, the Star Wars universe, what would be the benefits of that and the back? I mean, they're like, you actually have like weird creature enemies. And
You could know a Wookiee.
I could know a Wookiee. What if you fell in love with a Wookiee?
Oh.
I fell in love with a Wookiee.
I wonder what sex with a Wookiee would be like. That's not.
That was a really bad
That
Wookiee.
was a bad Wookiee.
Ooh, I wonder if I said something offensive to him. If there are Wookiees listening to the show, if I said something offensive just now, I apologize.
Yes.
I don't know. Now, I watched the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to sound so old. But I have not seen any of them after that. And I know there were, 8 of them or something that have kept going.
8, I think.
Have they actually showed other Wookiees besides Chewbacca? Because I've only seen the one Wookiee.
I don't know, because to be honest with you,
You haven't either.
I've seen them all. I don't remember them.
But I don't remember any other Wookiee.
I'm a
except the
horrible,
one.
horrible Star
There's
Wars
like a
person.
Wookieville. Where do the Wookiees come from? There's
Planet
like
Wook.
Are you making that up?
Yes.
Because I would have believed it.
They
I'm
come
a
from,
Wookite.
They come from Planet Wook.
I don't know where they come from. I don't know. I always thought Chewbacca was cool, but I've never. I mean, what if he falls in love? Who does he fall in love with?
Ooh.
I mean, there's
Maybe
no other
he secretly,
Chewies.
like-
There's no other Bacchus. What? His name is Chewbacca. Oh, he's a Wookiee.
He's
So
a
there's
Wookiee.
no other Wookiees.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he has a love for Ewoks.
No, that's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know that would work out well.
No, me either. Wow, I need to check into the Star Wars universe. I'm going to go with that one though. I feel like
It might smell better.
yeah, but I think that so I believe that the old English thing is more exciting looking back on it and creating
for
the
sure.
stories and
It's
stuff.
romanticized. Yeah. But people, I mean, if you think about like how people stored food then, could you imagine what you'd have to eat?
Well, that's why they didn't live that long.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
and disease and
you think about going to the Ren Fair, it would have been like that without the people dressed like Doctor Who. And
yeah. Or Harry Potter.
yeah, and then you're eating I don't know, I think food would have been good still. I mean, more natural. But still, the problem would be like diseases.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know anything, like now we know, wear a mask, and people are like, hell no. Now they didn't even know to say wear a mask. People just like, why are they croaking? Why are people
dying
off?
all over the place?
I don't know.
By the thousands.
If only we had some of those masks that those people in the future wouldn't wear, we would be fine.
We'd love to have those. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the disease thing would really put me off from wanting to live back then. Because just a simple like stomach upset.
Yeah, you're a goner.
You're a goner. And then not to mention, like, they didn't even have anesthesia then, I don't think.
Yeah.
So if you did have some horrible injury and have to have surgery.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like you have a headache, and they're like, you go like, I have a headache. Now they're like, I'll take an aspirin, take an Advil.
Yeah.
Then they're like drilling into your head and
Right.
stuffing leeches in there
Yeah.
and bloodletting. And you're like, I just had a headache.
Now I have a really bad headache.
All right, eat some poop and call me in the morning.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and then and I always think, what is the point where, at one point, it happened when they're just like, wait, leeches don't do anything? They're like, no, I'm sorry.
Not a thing.
Like all these years we've been doing, oh no. Yeah, we've been wasting our time. Because there had to be a point when they realized that none of that stuff actually worked.
Well, I will be honest with you. People still use maggots
Oh, I know.
to like clean out debridements and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, even leeches, there is a part of it that could work or has some benefits, but I don't know. I'm not going to go to Emory Hospital and they're going to put leeches on me.
No, I hope not. I mean, I hope not, because that would be awkward.
Yeah.
Be like, why did you put a leech on me? What's the point of this leech? What is this leech doing for me?
And I want a new gynecologist. All right. This is the worst.
It's a bad place for a leech, man.
Dr. Leech. I was thinking of that. First, I thought that was my doctor when I grew up, but it was a different name. It was very similar, though.
Dr. Leech.
Dr. Leech of the Star Wars universe. How's your week? What's going on? Anything good happening to you?
No,
Nothing
not at
good
all.
is
Nothing
going
good. Not a thing. Nope, everything's bad.
I don't have anything exciting necessarily. I do know that I talked last week about my shipments from China.
Yeah.
Thinking I was never going to get them. I did get a notification. Both of them are in town. They're both at the FedEx place, and they've been sitting here for like a week, just sitting.
Will they allow you to go pick them up?
I don't think so. It's a security thing. Somebody could just say that's my package. So I think I just gotta wait and deliver. But it's just sitting there for a week, and it keeps saying. Like the other day, it said it was on the truck out for delivery, and then I never got it. And then,
so that delivery driver's been out
I
looking
don't
for
know,
your
but
house
I'd like
for
to have it.
days. Yeah, he's like, "Where is this address?"
Yep. So
Sleeping in his delivery van.
Not been cool.
No.
Not getting my packages. Everything that I've ordered several things from Amazon, and those things have come in. But this is one of those far away places.
So cool thing that did happen. Well, I guess it's kind of cool. It's cool to me. Mm-hmm. I opted in at work for an FSA card, which is basically they put pre-taxed money on or non-taxed money on a card that you use for health purposes. Like you can use it to pay your co-pays, and you can use it,
for your leeches.
For your leeches and your maggots and things, yeah.
Sure.
But they also have an FSA store online, and everything in that store is eligible to use this card, right? I also found out this, somebody told me just recently that Amazon is now accepting your FSA card for things that are FSA eligible, which I thought was amazing. So TMI, I get it. Yesterday, which was Friday, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 2:30, somewhere between 2:30 and 4, and I had started my period, and I had severe cramps, and I was in a lot of pain. And then I also noticed that I was out of Advil, like completely out. And I also noticed that I only had like 3 tampons left, right? Or maybe 6. Okay. So what did I do? I hopped on Amazon. I bought a box of tampons, and I bought some Advil, and I paid for all of it with my FSA card, so none of it came out of pocket, and it got there today.
Wow. So is that overnight? Or
yeah.
When did it happen? Just overnight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I ordered it yesterday afternoon, and it got here today.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was pretty excited about that because my Prime still counts for free shipping, and it was free 1-day shipping, and I paid for it with my FSA card, which is, it's pushing August now, and I normally put like $1,000 on my FSA card just in case, and I think I've only spent about a total of $300. So the problem with an FSA card is that if you don't use it by the end of the year, or whenever it ends, you lose it. Like, it's gone.
I mean, if it gets close to the end of the year, just buy like 50 boxes of Ponds.
Which is what I did one year when I stopped taking all my medication, because I used to put $2,000 on this thing.
Yeah, we all don't like it when you stop taking your medication.
And then I stopped taking all my meds, and I didn't have anything to spend my FSA on, and it was getting to the end of the year, and so I found the FSA store, and I went nuts, and I bought like $1,700 worth of stuff.
Holy crap.
Oh my God, I was like giving Band-Aids away to people.
I think that's a wound. Let me fix it.
I was buying like Avengers Band-Aids and Mickey Mouse Band-Aids.
SpongeBob. What kind of Band-Aid would you like?
Take a SpongeBob, please.
I did find out this week. I have no idea really what it means, but I found out this week that our podcast, This Epic Disaster, is ranked number 21 of the top relationship podcasts in Sweden.
In Sweden.
Now, I don't know how long that lasts. I'm guessing this week. I mean, the next week it all changes or whatever, but it was, that's what it said. We have
listeners in Sweden?
I know we have one who often talks to us on our Facebook page, but I didn't know we had a lot. So apparently a lot of his friends have been listening.
Wait, is that the artist?
Artist.
Is that the person that lives in Sweden? He doesn't live in Sweden.
What are you talking about?
Ilgendor?
No.
I didn't think he lived in Sweden.
No.
Okay, so we have a listener who lives in Sweden.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention names because we're not. He hasn't given me permission to mention his name.
Of course not.
And
he doesn't want people knowing he listens to us.
But he did on public. He was like, I thought I was the only one in Sweden. But yeah, he communicates with us frequently. So he's out there in Sweden, and so we're big in Sweden now.
We're big in Sweden, man.
I don't know what it means. I don't know how long it will last, if that's long at all. But
apologies that I didn't know that we had a listener in Sweden because I'm not on Facebook much, and I'm not on at all anymore. So. Right. I haven't seen anything recently.
Well, but that's kind of exciting.
That's very exciting.
You know, I'd like to get on a chart here in the U.S.
That'd be cool, too.
But Sweden is fine. Yeah.
Maybe we'll go to Sweden.
Yeah, we'll do a traveling Swedish show.
Let's do it.
We can.
I'd love to go to Sweden.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do in Sweden. We'll talk about relationships.
Apparently
they love our relationship talk.
In Sweden.
If you're in Sweden and you need some advice on your relationships, and if you're in the United States, we will help you out.
Yeah, but we're probably more helpful to Swedes.
I don't know. Apparently they think so.
Yeah.
But you could just send us, if you have a question about a relationship, if you're in an entanglement, if you've got a problem, if you're having some issues you don't know what to do about, just send them to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Cheri's an expert on that.
I am.
She will answer your relationship questions.
I'm an expert on other people's relationships.
Yeah.
I am not an expert on my own.
Trying to think if I have any relationship issues. I don't think that I do.
Not right now you don't, according to your wife.
I have, throughout my life, I've gone through these periods where, and I don't know what this, and this is rambling. I'm rambling.
Okay, ramble.
As you know.
Go ahead.
I talked about the potential of me being on the autistic spectrum.
You are.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't. I haven't been tested, at least not formally tested. I took informal tests, and they were like, yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't know that. So kind of autistic Asperger. I used to think it was Asperger. It's Asperger. That kind of in there somewhere. I don't know where. It makes sense. But I've had these periods I go through, and it's every relationship I've ever been in, really, where I will kind of just shut down for a couple weeks. So I become very introspective, and it's almost like I don't connect well with things on the external.
Okay.
And that goes with relationships, which is difficult if you're in a relationship. You're supposed to communicate. So I don't think I've had that difficulty. My current marriage is going on 6 years?
Yeah,
close to it. And this last week or two, it's been like that. It really kind of hit me where it's just sort of become sort of more intro than outro.
What do you think that is?
I do not know.
Is it? Do you feel like it's a form of depression?
No.
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 Okay, so you're in a good mode.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of inward work.
Yeah.
Spiritual kind of inside stuff. So I get more focused there, and the stuff on the external becomes a little kind of a distraction.
Now, you've also, over the last couple of weeks that this has been going on, you've had a house guest. So
more than that, more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, but longer than that. I just wonder if maybe this is your time. You're allowing yourself to do it because you don't have to be present for your wife all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it, because I tend to do that a lot of times when I'm if I'm with somebody if I'm with people and their friend is with us, I will tend to shut way down and then just that's your time to talk. I'll just sit here. You go do your little thing. Mm-hmm. And so I will just kind of, I won't say check out,
right?
But I'm okay being over here by myself.
Yeah.
So, but I think that happens a lot because I know that it's her mom and they don't have a lot of get to spend a lot of time together. So I'm just you all talk, chat, whatever, go wherever, whatever. So but I think it's kind of a coincidence too. I think part of what I'm going through is been going on for maybe most of the year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
But it's never really manifested exterior. It's never been a part. I don't think that it's really been. So I think my wife's like, what's going on?
Oh, okay, okay. Because I remember when you and I lived together, you going through that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Past relationships is a regular part.
Yeah. And I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
At first, it's a little off-putting because you're like, oh God.
Well, I think if you're with an insecure person, they're just like, what did I do?
Yeah,
You don't like me anymore and that kind of stuff. But it's just it's just me.
It's just who you are.
Yeah.
You just shut down on occasion.
I shared things that I shouldn't share. I've shared my personal life with people.
You have. But everybody needs to reboot. You know, everybody needs to power down for a bit.
I don't know that that's what it is necessarily. It's just it's a focusing on something else. You know, it's kind of a focusing on interior instead of exterior. And when you're doing that, exterior stuff becomes, for me anyway, becomes a big distraction.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, good luck to you in your introspective journey.
That was my relationship problem. That's all you're going to say is cool, good luck?
Yep.
Is that what everybody's going to have to...
That's how good I am about this. I'm like, you're fine.
My husband
you don't
left
have
me.
a problem.
Cool, good luck.
You don't have a problem. As far as I'm concerned, if your wife doesn't think that there's a problem and you don't think that there's a problem, it's not really a problem. It's just, you just explained it the way, factually and what it is. It's not... And anybody will accept that. I think anybody reasonable would accept that. I don't think anybody, unless, like you said, it's a very insecure person, would have a problem with you taking a little me time. I mean,
I don't think
that's part of a relationship.
Well, the problem happens, and I try to be really aware of this, but the problem that happens is you don't let people know what's going on. You because you become very but me anyway, because I become very introspective. I'm not aware of how it looks from her side.
Yeah.
So for her, it's like, is there something going on? Are you having an affair? Or do you
Right.
not love me anymore? Whatever.
Right.
Which are legitimate questions if suddenly somebody's doing that.
Starts acting different, sure.
But for me, it's like, no. And I get real sensitive on like questions that people ask me that are irritating, like, are you okay?
You're like, I'm just being quiet.
Yeah, and everyone wants to ask you if you're okay because you're being kind of different.
Because you're acting
So
different.
like, are
exactly.
you all right? Is everything okay? And then it's like, and that becomes extremely irritating.
Well, I can see if everybody is asking you that. I mean, depending on how many everybody's you have.
Yeah.
It can get just frustrating every time you walk into a room or every time someone walks into your room, they say that to you. That can get really frustrating. But you also have to think, like, if the people around you are secure in themselves and they say, hey, is everything all right with you? And you say yes, and they accept it and walk away, that's the best thing on the planet. If that person comes back and is like, are you sure you're okay? Stuff like that, that bothers me. Yeah. That's a problem.
I get real sensitive. Well, it feels like people like last week you came over and you were like, what are you reading? And it was like really irritating. It was like, it's none of your business what I'm reading.
I mean, that's true, but
and
I was
my
just
wife,
merely being curious.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, then my wife would be like, are you okay? And so at one point my mother-in-law was just like, what would she say? Maybe like, what are you eating, or what are you doing, or where did you go, or something? It's just like, it's almost, I get really, I don't like people, it's not prying. It's like, I don't like being the focus of attention. It's like, I don't want people, I just want to be left alone during that kind of time.
Yeah.
It's like, because suddenly, like if I'm really kind of introspective, suddenly I have to kind of come out
to explain yourself
and deal with issues out here, which I'm not in the mood to do.
Right. Okay.
It becomes kind of irritating.
I can understand that.
It makes no sense. I don't know. I think, I don't know how many people go through that.
Well, we've talked about it before where, like, I've been in relationships where every time, like, if we're sitting on the couch watching television, every time I get up off the couch, where are you going? Yeah. Every time you get up off the couch, where are you going?
Well, that too, because I would do that. Like, I would be here and I would get up and I would go, I needed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then my wife would be like, where are you going?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I got to go to the bathroom. Is that okay? I'm
right.
checking in, or have to tell you where I'm going. It becomes like kind of irritating. And I know people aren't trying to be irritating, but
I actually ended up having to tell a past relationship person of mine that, you know what, every time I get up off the couch, you don't need to ask me that. If I'm going to leave the house, I will tell you. Otherwise, I'll be here.
Yeah, but it's also, you have to be sensitive because I don't think they're trying to necessarily to pry, and so if you're just like, none of your business, then you can actually start a fight that way.
Yeah, but if you have a conversation about it and just tell them, every time I get up to walk out of the room, you don't need to know where I'm going. If I need to be gone for an extended period of time, I will tell you, I'll be back later or something. But it's not, you're not my mom.
Right.
We're not attached at the hip. It's not like we have a tether where I'm going to go too far and yank you off the couch. It's fine. I'm leaving the room. Get over it.
I used to, I was a theater major. I used to do a lot of shows, a lot of plays, a lot of theater as an actor. And anytime I did a show, it was just anybody who knew me knew like the week before a show opened, sometimes 2 weeks, mostly like a week before, I could not communicate with people. I basically shut down. So like a whole week, I was so quiet, introspective. And that, I don't know what that was, just the creativity, the things inside of me, whatever, that's how I handled that kind of situation. And I don't know if that's the same thing. I've been like doing a lot of painting, a lot of art, and learning some new things that I don't really, I'm not comfortable with. And I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, reading a lot of books. And so maybe that's something too, is like I'm learning this whole new creative process. And that's an interior thing, and anything that happens on the exterior
takes away from that.
Yeah, it's irritating,
So
and I try not to be irritated. It shouldn't be irritating, and I try not to be irritated, but I do. It's I don't know. Sometimes I always say, and this is something that I think a lot of people who might not be autistic don't understand. But sometimes someone touching you is like, if your skin is completely raw, and someone's it's like it almost hurts, and that happens during these times. It's just like you just like, no, don't touch me,
don't touch me.
It's like Rain Man when you start hitting yourself you're hitting your head on the wall, like I don't want to be touched.
Don't touch me.
Don't dance with me,
Wapner.
So that's just, who knows why? It's just the way it is. I've accepted it. It's not a problem, and it's not something that like interferes in relationships, but it's a presence. It's something that happens semi-regularly, so you have to kind of respect it, and you just go, okay, well, that's what's happening now.
Yeah, sure. It won't last
forever. It's not
forever.
a bad thing. Yeah, you'll come out of it. And people who haven't been through it or who don't know me well, they might be like, why don't you like me? Or
right, you're being standoffish.
Yeah.
You're being antisocial or whatever, but you're not. Nope. I mean, you don't mean to be. You're just being introspective. There's a complete difference. You're not trying to be rude. You're not trying to be anything like that. You're just focusing within. And I think that when you're absorbing and knowledge, especially like you said, of this new technique or techniques that you're learning, you have to allow yourself to, you can't run other processes while you're installing new software.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Like those other processes have to stop while this new software, because you might corrupt the new software if you've got other processes running.
Yeah.
That's a really horrible way to say it, but it makes perfect sense to me.
You'll probably remember this. Back when we lived in Chattanooga, we got invited to a party. One of my friends invited us. And so this guy, he was a friend of mine, and he's an extreme extrovert. He's a performer. He does music. He's a radio announcer. He does all kinds of stuff. And he invited us to a party, and you and I went, and there were two other people who I didn't know were there, and so it was he and his wife, those two people, and you and me. And I don't do really well like that, especially with small intimate groups with people I don't know.
Right.
So I really tend to shut down. And so I enjoyed the party thoroughly. It was fun. It was fun meeting people, but I don't talk. I just completely closed down. And to this day, I think he thought I wasn't having fun. That I didn't like the party.
You think the person that invited you?
Yes.
I know who you're talking about, obviously, because I remember
never invited us back to another party.
Never did.
No.
I know. And if I recall correctly, we were asked questions by the other couple that was invited, like, or the other couple asked the hosts later after we left, did they not like us? Or,
I don't know.
I think I remember that happening.
I know that we met them later through other avenues, and they were fine. I didn't have any problem with them. I thought they were very interesting, but
for sure.
I tend to do that. I tend to be very much of an observer. So especially around new people, I'm sitting back watching and observing the people rather than trying to, I'm not a participator.
Right. And I've introduced you to people who hadn't known you before that prior. They know of you, but they didn't know you. And I've introduced you, and I tell them prior to introducing you, I'm like, He probably won't look you in the eye. I do. I don't make excuses for you, but I just tell people don't take it personally if he doesn't look you in the eye. Don't take it personally if he looks like he's just kind of like waiting to get away from you and rocking back and forth. I said, that's just who Rick is.
Pounding on his head.
If he's rocking back and forth and looking off into space, it's not because he's not listening to you.
B-E-R-N, Vern, B-E-R-N. Yeah.
And people are like, I didn't think you were I thought you were joking, but you're right. He did exactly those things.
And that's just my whole life. I mean, going to parties, I would just go and sit on a couch in the corner and just sit there and watch the party. That's what I do. And I loved it. And then people would be like, you didn't have a good time. I'm like, I had a better time than you.
Yeah, you have no idea how good a time I had.
I loved it. Because that's my favorite thing to do is just watch people interact. Mm-hmm. And you just get to know people that way, and I'm a people watcher, so to me that's fun. I do it fun. I just, I think there's been a couple parties where I felt pressure to be who I'm not, and that those never end well.
Yeah.
So I just be who I am, but I'm always just hoping that people understand. And the people that generally don't understand usually are like severe extroverts.
Yes.
They don't click into that. It doesn't make sense to them.
Not at all.
And so this guy, we've never talked about it. He never invited me back. We're still friends.
Sure.
But I to this day, I think he thinks I didn't have a good time. And I did. I think it was the first time I'd been to his house. He had a great house.
Yeah, yeah.
And the dinner was great. And the people were great. Everything about it was fun and great. And then, but yeah.
I wonder if you should just hit him up like tonight on Facebook and be like, hey, you remember that party like 12 years ago? I did have a good time. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
vaguely.
I knew that. I'm not sure why you're mentioning it now. Now it's very weird.
Now
Thanks for making it weird for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That's just me. As I've gotten older, I tend to just not do things that I know I'm not going to have fun or I'm not going to work well in.
Yeah.
So a lot of times my wife will ask me, do you want to do this, or will you do this with me, or will you come here with me or something? And I just know it's not going to work out. And so I will just be like, no.
No. Well, see, you've gotten to a point in your life where you can say no, and she doesn't get offended. I mean, sometimes
but I feel bad for her. I mean,
but
I'm her partner, and I should be doing things that she likes to do too.
Well, then that's the thing, is that you do make an effort to do things that she would like to do as well on occasion, but you can't be expected to do it every time if it's not something that you're enjoying.
I have gone to some events with her friends, which I did not want to do. Mm-hmm. That's something that I just don't like. It's with people that I don't know. Why? Because when you go with people, the first thing to do is start asking you a bunch of questions
about yourself.
Those are the things I don't like.
Yeah.
And if I just see, and I've said this before, it's like my family, like my brother met a girl, and she came over to the house, and she got really upset because no one talked to her. No one made a big deal. We all just acted like she'd been there forever. And it took her a long time to realize that's just what we do. So I started, and I think I did that with you, but
you told me, yeah.
I was just like, here's the thing. Everybody's going to ignore you, not in a bad way. They're just going to act like they've known you forever.
Right.
So they're not going to make a big deal when you're there. People talk to you for sure, but they're just going to act like someone they've always known. And
they're not going to be like, ooh, a new person. Let's ask some questions.
They're not going to ask you your life story,
and you
were
they
don't really care.
Dead on. They don't really care. You were dead on too. It was Thanksgiving was the first time I was ever with all of your family. The first Thanksgiving after I moved down to the southeast, and sure as shit, we walked in and it was just like, oh hi, and that was it.
Have some food. But I've gone to some events with my wife, and I met some people that I really liked, and I was just like, "Oh, wow, I'm glad I did this." Kind of, I in a situation I'm a little uncomfortable with, and then I'm like, "Oh, these people are kind of cool."
Yeah.
So but I'm still like that. I just don't like little small groups. I'm fine in big groups
because
go to big parties.
You're not the focus of attention.
Yeah, I can disappear.
Yep. Yeah. When people invite me to do things, because I want to be a joiner. Like I want to, hang out with people, and I want to get to know new people, and I want to do all that. But the anxiety surrounding it, to me, oftentimes stops me from doing it. Like on the day, I'll be like, I can't make it, or something. And I've done that to people that I know, because there are going to be people there that I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've told them, I can't make it, and oftentimes the anxiety has actually physically made me ill, and I can't go because I am sick.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from. I force myself to do things like that a lot. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like the day I moved into my current residence, there was a block party happening, or the day after.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, there was a block party, and I was invited. Just the block was invited, right? And it was going to happen at 3 different houses.
Okay, this is a different event then.
Okay, so we started at one house, and then it had hors d'oeuvres and drinks and stuff, and then go to another person's house and do the same. And then at the third person's house, I fell. Now I didn't know any of these people, and I drank a bit, and I tripped over a chair, fell flat on my face, and broke my nose.
There's a few of those events in your life story.
Yes, because
breaking things because you drank too much.
Feel like I have to drink in order to calm the anxiety, and
not only that, but it's fun. It's a social thing, and then But you I think I've told this to my wife before. It's like you drink more than anybody that I know.
Yes.
But it seems to affect you least of people that I know. So you could drink a lot of alcohol and you don't necessarily seem drunk.
It's true.
And I guess it depends on the alcohol too, because I've known you when you have drank some that you were pretty obnoxious. But no, I
won't disagree at all.
I was thinking about when this is like not too long after you moved into that area where they had the mothball down there.
Yeah.
Where it was a costume party. And was it Famous Movies or something like that? And I can remember you helped them out. I helped paint a little scenery.
It was fantasy is what it was.
Yeah.
Kind of under the sea kind of thing.
I just remember the guy dressed like Quint from Jaws. That was
that's my friend.
But I could just remember you there, and you were working with it. And then I remember at one point we were there, and you kind of pulled us aside, and you were like, "I have a bunch of friends. People actually like me." Like, that's like a revelation for you.
It is a revelation for me. I'm not.
You were
used
so happy.
to that.
You were just like, people really like me.
I know.
Well, you're not drinking and falling down. Maybe
that's it. Maybe that's why people like you, is because you're handling it today.
But I do that. I mean, I can function well in large parties. That was fun. I really like doing that. But if it's just a smaller, more intimate party, I don't like it as much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just who you are. There's really no fixing that, and there's no point, in my opinion, there's no point in forcing yourself into situations that make you uncomfortable, especially at our age. When we were younger, like in our 20s and stuff, people were always like, well, you're never going to meet anybody if you don't get out there. I mean, you still say that to me now, because
well, that's true.
It is true. I mean, I understand that I'm not going to meet anybody sitting on my couch, and if I do, I probably won't want to meet them. But
I've been in a few relationships where I was the last person that they were in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
At least long term, maybe. And I just think, did I ruin them?
No.
Did I screw it up? They're just like, never again. I will not make that a mistake again.
No, not at all.
I always just like, well, can you just move on? I mean, there are other people.
I know.
I'm not talking about you necessarily. I'm just saying I've been in, I can pick maybe 3 or 4 that I can think of that have done that.
That have just never gotten into another relationship.
I'm like, why?
What did I do?
I just feel weird. I've destroyed them.
Well, no. I would say, speaking for myself, no, it didn't have anything to do with you. It has completely to do with me. I'm just not good in a relationship.
I don't agree with that. I think that's so wrong. I think you undersell yourself. And you want a relationship, and you could be good in a relationship. And we live in 2020 when relationships don't exist in a certain way anymore. Used to, it's just like, I'm going to be this person, you're going to be this person, we're going to marry, or we're going to get together, we're going to date, we're going to hang out, then we're going to live together. And it doesn't do that anymore necessarily. You can be serious with 3 people. You could be in a relationship with one person and live in 2 different locations.
Married people even do that nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many alternatives now, and you live in Atlanta, Georgia, where alternative culture is rampant. There's like so many different colors here, and I don't mean that in a racial way. Just there's just so many. I see it all the time, and a lot of them are young people. I don't know how people's minds have expanded that are, middle-aged or whatever. But still, I think that people aren't locked into a box, and I think you expect them to be locked into a box. And I think that I think you're denying yourself an experience in a lifestyle because, number one, you're too. I don't know if I should say this. Number one, you're too scared, and number two, you're too lazy. And I think that I think the scared part is really the thing that's holding you back. I think you don't want to spend the time working to go out and get something. And I don't blame you. Relationships are so much trouble sometimes. But I just feel like that you're, I know you like to do things alone. I know that. But I also know that if you're with the right person, you would like doing things with a partner or with someone that's fun.
Yes, that's true. I would.
So, and I'm not going to go into any more than that.
Okay. I mean, so I'm scared and lazy, but when you said, I shouldn't say this, I say that all the time about myself. Yeah. So I am in complete agreement with you. And but however, you say you think it's more the scared part that's stopping me. I think it's more the lazy part.
No, I said well, no, but I did say that scared, but I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure.
But the lazy part, that's fairly easy to fix. The scared, it takes a little more time.
Yeah.
Because the scared, there's a lot of psychological stuff involved in there.
There is.
And fear of being rejected and fear. And you've been in some relationships that you really had a lot of hopes for, and then it kind of fell apart, and you take it way too personal, I think. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I think anybody would in a lot of those situations. But, when are you going to do it? You only get a certain amount of time, so it's like get out, have some fun, get laid, enjoy life, and then maybe it doesn't last. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But you had a good time for a while. Just keep having those good times.
Well, I'm not saying I haven't had that since you and I split.
No, I know you have,
because I have had that.
I know.
With a couple people, and
at the same time.
Maybe not. But they were never destined to go anywhere. And you always tell me that I choose those people on purpose. You say that I choose unavailable people.
You do.
Emotionally or for whatever reason, they're unavailable, and those are the people I choose.
I don't know that you choose them at the beginning, but I think there's something about them that you recognize that they're not available for a long-term relationship, and you end up pursuing that instead of just dropping it and moving on. It's like you let yourself get involved in it too much. And I just feel like it's kind of like a young 12-year-old girl reading Tiger Beat magazine. It's like you can look and you can be in love with all these guys, all these people, but they're safe.
Yeah.
You don't have to get involved. They could be your boyfriend, but you don't actually have to get involved. They're not going to reject you. You can be safe. But I just think Atlanta's such a big place and so many weird and interesting people. You're denying yourself some interesting experiences. I've thought of getting a divorce just for that reason.
But you know what? You also have to remember that I haven't taken the time to decide what it is I actually want.
Well, I know. And when are you going to? You gotta.
So if I don't know what I want, and I'm not, anxious to find out what I want, then I'm not in any hurry to go looking.
I'm not in any situation I don't have an interest in looking, but I do think because I moved here to be with my wife.
Correct.
She was my wife at the time, but I moved here to live with her. And I visited Atlanta before that, and I always thought, it's a cool place. It's just too hot.
Yeah.
But I've always thought it was a cool place. But having lived here, I just think, wow, if I had lived here when I was single, I would have had so much fun. There's just so many interesting people here. And a lot of people that would have been great friends or get involved with, whether it's the art scene or whatever, I could still like get involved in a lot of that stuff. Of
course, yeah.
But not from a romantic level. But I'm just saying, I don't know how it would change my life if I'd come here earlier.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I was single. I don't think I would stay single long if I was here. There's a lot of interesting people to get to know.
And for me, it's been 5 years I've been here, and I've been single.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's because you're lazy and
scared.
Yeah. Scared and lazy.
Yeah. Well, it's a thing. I mean, what is that? That's my band name of the day.
Scared and lazy.
Scared and lazy.
Scared and lazy, and I eat poop.
No, I don't eat poop.
That's why I can't meet someone.
My breath stinks.
All right, let's shut down our podcast. Let's close this down. Let's stop
right now
what we're doing. All of you Swedish people, we're sorry we talked about poop.
We're sorry, everybody, that we talked about poop, not just the Swedes.
We went from number 21 to like 74 in 1 week.
You know what I was thinking?
The Swedish got their dictionary. They're like, what is poop?
Maybe we're number 21 in the relationship podcasts in Sweden because
there's only 21
podcasts.
It's possible. It's quite possible. But anyway, if you like our podcast, come back.
Yeah,
please.
For sure.
We love new people.
Yeah.
And we don't always talk about eating poop. In fact, I hope we don't talk about it ever again.
Ever again. Now, I will tell you, if you go back, the percentage of podcasts of the almost 200 that we've done where poop is actually brought up
is every one of them.
Pretty high.
Every episode.
The percentage is
high.
high.
We do talk about poop. We just don't talk about eating it.
Right.
We will talk about poop in almost every episode. We talk about a lot of weird stuff. And if you would like to hear us talk about a specific thing, you can send it to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Just give us I'd like to hear your viewpoints on this, whatever, and we'll talk about that.
For sure.
One thing, it does help us out if you would give us a review wherever you download it. Just go, if you're downloading this podcast regularly from Apple, just go to the Apple Podcast and just give us a ranking of how many stars and just leave a little sentence, say I like it or whatever. That helps us out a lot.
It does.
And we give this podcast to you every week for free.
Yep.
And we don't ask for anything in return.
Nope.
But that could be your gift to us, and we would be happy to get that. And then in response to that, we'll give you another gift of stickers. If you ask, if you want to have some stickers, you could just send us an email and tell us where we should mail the stickers, and we'll mail you some stickers.
Speaking of gifts, don't forget that we're having a Zoom meeting for my birthday.
Soon. Is that this week or next week?
My birthday is this coming Friday.
Oh, so it'll be this coming week.
Yes.
All right, so keep a lookout. I would say on the Facebook group, we will post when we're going to do the Zoom. We'll post the day, and we'll tell you how you can access the Zoom. Anybody can show up. Just hang out. You don't have to do anything. We do ask that you bring a gift for Cheri.
Or a picture of a gift.
Well, everything. When I say bring a gift, it could just be something you copied from the internet.
Yep.
Something you would it's just something you would like to give her if you could.
Yeah.
Obviously you can't, but we would like to see what you would give her.
I mean, you can send me things. I don't have a problem with you sending me things.
You want to do that, but it's much cheaper to not.
Yeah. I'm not asking for anything.
So that'll be happening this week. And let's talk about our beer.
Yeah, let's do that. So again, for those of you who, got confused when we started talking about eating poop and forgot what we're drinking, we are drinking Pluff Mud Mud Porter, and it's by Holy City Brewing out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this here porter?
Everything about this beer from the very beginning I knew I was going to hate. The name I don't particularly care for. The fact that it's made from mud or named after mud. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of stuff about it. I knew I was going to not like it. And instead I really liked it. I'm giving it a 4.
Wow. Okay. You're giving it a 4.
I did like it. And I would have another one. In fact, I can because I got some more.
There you go. You're allowed.
Yeah. This is a tasty little brew. Some of the porters that we've had start off good, and then kind of the finish of them is a little bitter.
Yeah.
This one didn't have that for me.
This does not have any bitter.
It's got a nice little coffee finish, kind of chocolatey coffee, which I really like. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's a nice beer. Enjoyed it.
It is good. I think that trying to drink it on a full stomach is probably not a good idea because I ate a lot right before we did this podcast.
We had dinner.
We had dinner. And so I do like it. The flavor is good. I would probably have it again. It's a little frightening to look at. It actually looks like mud.
It's like old coffee or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like that. But I'm going to give it a 3.
You're giving it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Both of us have very different experiences with
Well, I mean, you tend to lean more towards the porters and the stouts and things.
like
I
those.
tend to lean more towards the sours and the pilsners.
We haven't had a sour in a while. We need to do that. Well,
we do.
I want to go down to Krog City Beer
Krog
Market.
Street Market.
Krog Street. We need to do that. What I want to do is I want to do a video. I want to go get our video camera, go down there and try to find a beer, and we'll post it.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think they'll let us do that. It'd be great if we could have one of them on our podcast and talk about beer, because
that would be cool
so
too.
much beer down there.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
they're probably got the time right now.
Probably.
I'm sure they sell a lot of people drinking beer during this quarantine.
A lot of people drinking during this quarantine, including me.
Hopefully you're doing things you enjoy, and if you're not, it's a good time to learn some new things. You know what I was saying to my wife yesterday, and I believe this, there's no need for colleges anymore as long as you have YouTube and Pinterest.
Yeah.
You can learn everything that you want just on Pinterest and YouTube.
Pretty much.
I wished I'd had them when I was younger.
And by reading books.
Yeah.
I mean...
But why do you need to read books when you have Pinterest and YouTube?
Because reading books is fun. Or
also
smelling them.
Smelling the books.
Yes.
But I'm learned so much from photography to painting to the lovely ASMR people that I watch. But there's just so much to learn on all those. So I guess my point is learn something new. Find a passion, a potential passion, I would think.
Find something an interest and dig into it.
Check it out.
Check it out. See if you like it.
You might be surprised. It'll help you to grow. You might become so interested in it that you become introspective and ignore your spouse.
That's true.
That's
you
what I
could be
do.
like Rick.
All right. So find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, those places.
Mostly Facebook. We're there a lot.
Well,
and
you are.
Communicate with us, and we'll communicate back.
We'll try.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
We're here every Monday. We'll see you next Monday.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye. This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.